So as we are heading into the recoding, rewiring, and refiring element, what that's going to mean is that there is something in your life that you want to change. There is something that may not be working quite as well, and you obviously want to be able to have the character traits, the discipline, and all those elements to be able to get where you want. Now, imagine if you could, create something that could change the past that's going to change the future. Have you ever had a situation, for example, where you haven't done something, or maybe you did do something? So whether you did do something or you didn't do something, it's like, well, I wished I had spoken up for myself, or I wished I had been able to stand up with more confidence, or why did I go about doing what I did and when I know I should have done something else? Or why did I have to overeat? Or why did I have to get angry? Can everybody kind of relate to this, where we've got things that have really robbed us from ultimately really just being all of our, great self? So what this is going to be about is the opportunity for you to do that. Beautiful. Hello, everyone, as you're jumping in. It's great to see your beautiful faces. So it's almost like you are able to go, well, you know what? Instead of, that shrinking violet, where I allowed myself to play small, where I kind of shrunk back, I didn't speak my truth, or maybe I just didn't make the right decisions. What this is about is it's very much about you being able to make those decisions. You being equipped, empowered to rewire and refire your mind, your body, and everything about you so that you can become the person that you truly want to be. So we're going to be doing these techniques this evening, and these techniques are going to be life-changing. And, I just love the fact that, we can build our resources. We can be the person we've always wanted to be. We don't have to regret our past. We don't have to feel like we've been held back because we weren't good enough, or we weren't disciplined enough, or we were doing the wrong things. So for those of you who have been in my portal and you were in the last training, what we did, just to give some context, and it doesn't matter if you weren't in that training, by the way, because I've got you covered. But what actually happened was we did timeline therapy, but we had to ascertain some of the problems that are going on in our community, perhaps not being able to show up, not being able to speak up, perhaps feeling like a shrinking violet, or if there, we have men in our community, not being able to really, break through to that next level. And so this all comes from trauma. It comes from past experiences. But here's the thing, guys. It's not the past. The past is behind us. Now is a new now. It's a new beginning. It's a whole new way of going forward. And what this actually does is, imagine if you could go back to the future. So what we've done is we've gone in a rocket. We've gone back and we've looked at some of those deep, emotional wounds, and we've pulled them out from the root. Okay. Now, what happens when we do this? Well, firstly, it's fast. It's absolutely incredibly powerful, and it works quickly because it works through your unconscious mind. It works through the element of your supernatural power. It takes you back. It pulls it from its very root, and it dissolves, clears, and releases it. Now, as I'm speaking about that, people in my community may almost feel like they can resonate with this and even experience it, because that's the kind of work I do. If you've been in my portal before, you kind of hear this stuff and you're already doing the work without me even going through it. So that was what happened in our previous mastermind. And as I said, it doesn't matter if you were not there for it. What is going to happen in this particular mastermind is we're going to go forward in our new empowered self. But what we're going to do is we're going to also look at some of those personality traits that we do want to really release and let go of. So if you've been too shy, if you've been held back, if you felt like you weren't good enough, or you felt like, you were not, using your voice, showing up, speaking up, and being all of you, well, I'm here to tell you, here's your chance to do so right here and now. So on the other side of the coin, you have got that empowered version of you. You've got that person that you want to be. And what we've picked from our community is that confidence. Like, would you like confidence? Raise your hand if you'd like more confidence, and confidence to do whatever it is that you want to achieve, right? Confidence, courage. Now, courage is a really great virtue to have, right? And it's going to give you the ability, with confidence and courage, to break through, because you are going to have new belief systems about your life. You're going to have new belief systems wired that actually say, I can do this. I can actually do this. And if you can identify something great in anyone else, then you can have it in you. But the good news about being on this mastermind call is that we are going to go to the community. We're not going to record it, but we are going to go to the community and we're going to find out exactly what we're going to rewire, recode, and refire. Now, we know it's about mission, vision, and purpose. And we also know it's about installing confidence, courage, and clarity. My question is, what area of your life do you really want to up the antics on that? And what is it that you want to kind of like really let go of and quit right now and recreate a new belief? So we're going to do that right now, and then we're going to move straight into this powerful technique. Okay, so from our community, we have got so many gold nuggets. So we are going to endorse the elements of, the gold that you want to take from this session. And you may be finding that there is something else that you want, but this is about inspiring you. So we have got elements here where, you can travel, you can be paid enough to be able to take your family and to be able to inspire people as you go. And you know what? When the chips are down, when there are elements that is not working for you, guess what? You're going to be able to still be able to move through your life. You'll be able to turn around things no matter what. You'll be able to finally embody your power, your magic, your sparkle, because this is not any more about what others are teaching you and what you're trying to learn, but this is about you becoming this person. So it's your time to shine. It's your time to sparkle. And this is what you can expect from this segment. And so as you begin to learn how to own it, what's going to happen is you're going to own this new level of your life. You are going to have the biggest results and even improve your wealth, your money. And it's going to be like you're breaking through that glass ceiling and feeling safe within yourself. You don't have to be thinking in terms of, I need other people to make me feel safe, because you're going to feel safe within yourself. You're going to also experience on this journey the fact that you can be inspired to feeling like you are really contributing and having that bigger picture as you contribute. And as a result, you will feel that you are living a far more meaningful life, a life where you can be a magnet to all the right people, where you can even let just completely run off you like water on a duck's back to those people that perhaps walk away from you, where there's going to be this really big acceptance of yourself, knowing that the people that you're supposed to attract will come into your space. And the magic of NLP is going to help you make that wonderful power in people's lives. So as you are also going to find yourself being in the right place at the right time. What if I told you that's going to happen? You're going to be in the right place at the right time, because guess what? Doors of opportunity are about to open up. And when I say doors of opportunity are about to open up, this is not because you're trying to push and break down those doors. This is because you have that natural evolution and inspiration that allows you to divinely be guided into that space. So as you all will find that you're going to get the clarity around what you want in this sequence, the next steps is to understand the meaning of your journey. So as you kind of grapple with, this is where I've been for a big part of my life, and this is the playing field that I've been on, isn't it great to know that that's about to be turned around? And as it turns around and becomes this new evolution of attracting the right people, but even the right person, maybe you are looking for that soul partner. And maybe you require, even if you are desiring something that's going to be really move you into what we call a divinely fulfilled life. Let's face it, whether you want to be a star player in sport, whether you want to be a star player as a coach, whether you want to be a star player as a musician, it doesn't really matter, or even a parent or a teacher. The simple fact is we all want to be fulfilled. We all want to feel loved. We all want to feel important. And we all want to feel a certainty. And this is what is going to be. But I'm going to also ask you to be specific. So as you create your new way of feeling, as you understand that every person that's been on your path has been there for a reason. They've been there as your greatest teacher. The good news is that now it's time to let it go. Now it's time to say thank you. Thank you to people who may have even hurt you, to life situations that you thought didn't work out. Actually, everything worked out perfectly. Everything worked out just fine. And this is where you can now come into that beautiful, fulfilled space where you can be such an impact to your world. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create the sequence for us to begin this journey. So now, as we all mute down, we are going to begin the rewiring and the refiring. So Firstly, let's look at what's holding you back. What's blocking you? What is the old story that you have been playing out? And often the things that block us are simple as, they can be really just things that are just made up in our head. We made them up, but mostly it's about fear. It's about fear of rejection, fear of showing up, fear of speaking up. And, fear is the biggest paralyzing thing that happens in our life. But it's only a story. Guys, it's just an old story. And if you have, as a result of life experiences, maybe you've been hit with a few bad blows in your life, or you're living in chaos, or you just feel like everything's upside down, or you're in that kind of situation. What I want you to look at is that's your mountain. It's your mountain that's going to leverage you to the person that you were born to be. And I'm not talking about you becoming someone different. I am talking about you unleashing all of you and owning all of you. So I want you to look into the direction of your left, and I want you to notice what you see yourself as you have played out those old patterns that have been holding you back. These stories and these elements are really the things that you're about to change. Now, understand this. Vulnerability is not a weakness when you own it and you show up. In fact, it is your superpower. When you can learn to embrace your imperfections, even as you look to the left and see those elements that you may have felt like, why did this happen again? Why am I constantly feeling like I'm kind of rotating in the same pattern where I end up feeling the same way? But I'm going to tell you exactly the reason, and that is because it serves a purpose, especially because you're here, especially because you're doing this work. It is giving you the rocket to grow. And because of that, that's going to actually release you far quicker than it ever would have done, just because you are doing this work. So this is going to be about you now forming a new part of yourself. Now, don't think of forming a new part like more confidence, more courage, more clarity as something that's not you. It's a part, and it can be a learned behavior. And we want to weave that new learned behavior into your nervous system. And as we are rewiring this, you're going to find out how your brain can fire off the right neurons, and we're going to refire those neuron pathways that lead you to the confidence, the courage, and the clarity. And, as you begin to see it, I want you to see yourself on the right. This is the new you. It may not be crystal clear now. I don't expect it to be crystal clear now. But what does the new you look like with those new traits? You kind of have this paradigm shift that everything happened for a purpose. You are now on a mission of your, life purpose that brings you wholesomeness, that brings you contentment. Who are you? What do you look like? How do you behave? How does it feel? And so as you see this, it may not be crystal clear right now, but it's going to become clearer and clearer and clearer. By the end of this session, you are going to feel a sense of an unshakable sense of who you are and what you are really here to experience. So I know many of you have done maybe previous trainings with me where we've released the blocks and limiting beliefs that were holding you back. But that's okay, even if you missed our last session, because we're going to be still addressing what we require in order to get you to go on an experiential journey to recode yourself. Now, it's time to take a moment to open your third eye. So I want you to tap between your eyebrow. And I just want you to intentionally recognize that you are opening up your third eye. Now I want you to tap your throat chakra. And this is where you are going to open up your voice so you can speak your truth. Now I want you to tap your eyes so that you can see clearly your new version of who you are. And now I want you to relax and know that you've done all the work that's required. On the left is that old part of you, and on the right is a glimpse of the new part of you. And whatever it is, whether you're at the top of your field at something, whether you are at the top of your, at your highest life with the joy of achieving and being surrounded by the right people, you'll find that it's all going to come together anyways. So let yourself feel into that future version of you and be aware of that old version of you. Now, as you face what hasn't been working, or some of the things that maybe you've been beating yourself up about, things that you know that you've endured, I want you to shift your focus. Think about, as you are looking at what hasn't been working and what has been holding you back, even if it was that you felt very shy or too embarrassed to step up or didn't have enough confidence or didn't feel good enough, or kept on repeating patterns because you allowed yourself to be walked over, perhaps. Maybe it is all about physical ailments where you just have suffered so much fatigue and exhaustion and stress that it has become a great excuse for you not to become the great person that is within you dwelling, the giant that's just wanting to get out. So whatever it is, I want you to look at it head on, acknowledging this as your old self. As you acknowledge the blocks, and as you now ask yourself the question, am I prepared to let it go? Am I prepared to learn from these and switch it? Now I want you to picture your old self and your new self. Now get this, it's like they're going out on a date together, or they're best friends going and having a drink together, a coffee together, or a fine meal together. And they're kind of like yin and yang. So the interesting thing is you're watching this as a movie and they're sitting down like old friends, having a laugh. Now, you'll notice on the left, the old part is tired, burdened, but it still obviously wants all of the best things. Maybe the reason that all of those things were held back, or maybe you attracted it because you needed to learn something. You needed to be better. Maybe it was protecting you from rejection, from judgment. Maybe it was protecting you from hurting others or being hurt yourself. But notice they're having a really good old chat here, and the new part is really clear, and it's telling the story about how it understands exactly what the old part is saying. But it found this roadmap. This roadmap was the roadmap with wisdom. It was the roadmap that was able to take them to their destination. And it was like being able to kind of dodge all the obstacles that were along the way. And they both know that they both want the same thing. It's just that one has been blocked and the other one happened to find this roadmap. And on this roadmap was confidence, courage, mission, vision, and purpose. But there was also a vulnerability, an ability to be able to talk through what is happening. And they both want the same fulfillment, happiness, success, but they have just been doing it in different ways. You see, the old part always wanted what the new part has. It just didn't know how to do it. It just was in that world because it was designed to be. It was just perfect for who you are going to become. But now something profound happens. As they continue their conversation, they stand up and you're watching them. And without a word, they suddenly embrace each other. This is no ordinary hug. It's a deep, full body embrace. It's like the left and the right coming together, embracing and uniting. They are merging as one. And the old part is gaining the wisdom, and the new part is understanding what the old part was really wanting to learn. And as you integrate this new part with the old, you feel that unity within yourself. And now, as the old and new have merged, you are complete. You are whole. You are rewired for confidence. And imagine that you are now standing tall, fully aware of your power. You have this fulfillment that is now acting and activating in your life. This is the version of you that is moving forward with ease and grace, and that is living the life exactly on your terms. Now imagine that movie screen in front of you. On this screen is that future version of you living your dream life. Notice you can turn it up and make it colorful. Make the sound compelling. Bring the passion, the purpose, and notice the relationships and how you feel in your relationships. Notice you feel unstoppable, but you're seeing this as the new you. And now I want you to close your eyes down shut. And as they are already closed down shut, I want you to understand that you are getting ready now to embrace the vulnerability in yourself. And as you are ready to let go of these blocks and feel the power and the vulnerability entering your heart, notice that the vulnerability is your strength. Notice it is your authenticity. Notice how chaos becomes your superpower because you're able to move through it. You're able to embrace those things that did seem chaotic. And with this magnetic force, you're able to draw in all the right people. Now let's talk about what it means to live this new life. Imagine now you're standing in this new place of power, feeling the confidence growing inside you like a warm golden light expanding through every cell of your body and flooding your heart with love and light. Notice your heart is completely opening up like a flower. Clarity is washing over you like a crystal clear ocean, and your path is becoming vivid. Now I want you to think of what you are now able to do that you weren't able to do before. Picture yourself living a turned on life where you are tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. Imagine doing something that doesn't feel the way it used to when challenges arrive. Because when challenges arrive in your life and the chips are down, you are in control. You have this new sense of crystal clear clarity. Notice now how you're able to see that you've broken through to the next level, like you've broken through that glass and you're now at a new level. Notice you're attracting the right people and that special person that you feel so connected with. Notice what it's like to embody this sense of purpose and confidence, magnetizing this, attracting opportunities, taking the steps that find your inner peace, confidence, even amidst when challenges come your way. Your transformation is becoming centered, grounded, and unshakable. I want you to imagine you are a beacon of light. Now, I want you to integrate. And as you do so, I want you to turn your eyes upward as if you're looking through your own eyebrows. And as you do so, I want you to take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, I want you to hold it. I want you to hold it and see the number 1. And as you see number 1, I want you to breathe out number 1. And then I want you to see the number 3 and breathe in. And as you see number 3, I want you to exhale out. Allow yourself to breathe in again through your nose and see the number 2. And as you see the number 2, you're going to breathe out. And as you breathe out, I want you now to see the number 1 again. Only this is where you've won. I want you to go back to the earliest age where you learn the divine new way of life. I want you to see yourself as the inner child and even remember a time when perhaps you were doing the old pattern, but you're kind of waving goodbye to it. And as a result, you're rewiring and refiring a new sense of confidence. How does the inner child talk when they're confident? What do they do differently? How do they assert themselves? I want you now to move forward to another moment in your life that's been kind of like one of those moments that, you know, if you could go back and change it, you would do something different and you would add in the powerful formula of confidence, courage, clarity, mission, vision, and purpose, knowing who you are. I want you to take a time when you were in the old and perhaps you were falling in that trap that you know you had been stuck in. But I want you to say goodbye to that old person and say, thank you. You've taught me so much. Now it's time to go. And as you just watch that part of you release, it's like it's floating away. And now you do something different. You fill that space doing something different. You use your confidence. You use your courage. You use your power. You use your wisdom and you use your mission and your purpose. And now as you fill the space between the air and yourself, you feel the world opening up. I want you to now imagine there is one more event in your now life that may have been just a little while ago. I want you to just allow yourself to understand exactly what it is that you're going to change. I want you to see that. And as you see it, I want you to change it. You're changing that old way and saying, thank you.
Sorry.
And so now, as you see that space and place that's happened recently where you didn't have the resources, where you didn't have the right tools, where you feel like you could have done things better, I want you to say thank you, knowing that you've learned. And I want you to see it float away. And I want you to now step into that role and map it out, playing it out in the new you, recoding it, rewiring it, refiring it, and just noticing how you behave now, what you say now, what you do now, how you are loving yourself, how you are so respectful to yourself. And as you are so respectful to yourself, and as you feel what you feel, I want you now to get ready to come back to where you are. But as you come back to where you are, now you're going to rewire, refire, and allow yourself to practice the art of the new you. How do you look when you are now in this new way? What is it that you do? As you see yourself and notice that the transformation in you has given you the tools and the power to recreate that new way of living. You are successful, you are fulfilled, you are confident, you have courage, you have clarity. What is working out for you in your life that you truly desire? It was your desire. Picture that now. And as you do, this might be tomorrow. This might be next week. How does that new you behave with confidence, courage, clarity, vision, mission, and purpose? I want you to turn it up. I want you to turn up the sound. I want you to visualize it, and I want you to jump into it and feel it in your body as if you've got it right there in you. So you become an open vessel to attract exactly what you want, making manifest. I want you then to go out a little further into your future, maybe a month out to your future. I want you to experience all the opportunities that have opened up, the decisions you've made, the courage, the confidence. What's different? Notice how you're different. Notice how you're activating your success, your relationships, the feelings of importance, certainty. Notice how you allow vulnerability to be your superpower of leadership. Notice how they give you the inroad to being an open person, but also allowing yourself to attract all the right people. Now, as you embrace it, turn it up, turn the vision up, bring the sound up in your body. Notice that you've got new habits. You've got new non-negotiables. What is it that is a non-negotiable for you? I will no longer stand. What will you no longer stand for that maybe you once tolerated? If that doesn't come to you now, I want you to ask yourself the question in your mind's eye as you're muted down so that you can hear this clearly. And you can ask yourself the question, whether you ask it out loud or whether you ask it in the eye of your mind. What is my new non-negotiable? I no longer tolerate this. And as you ask yourself the question, whether it comes now or tomorrow or even next week, you might be walking, doing something, and suddenly, boom, it lands. And you know, I own this. I claim this. This is non-negotiable. And as you now Move into the quantum leap of your higher self. This is 12 months out. This is September the 26th, 2025. Who have you become? You have been on this journey. What has improved dramatically for you? What do you notice about your life, your relationships, your business? What is it that is specifically different that you can now really just embrace? What have you set as a standard for your life that has literally become a non-negotiable, and now you are living it out? I want you to feel into this new empowered you 12 months from now, knowing all the things that you know. Think about your wealth, your bank account, your wealth and bank account of your love, your wealth and bank account of your success, your wealth and bank account of your resilience, your courage, your conviction. Now, if you believe this is safe for you, if you feel this is good for you, if you feel it's also good for those around you that love you and those who are going to come into your life and who are in your life in 12 months from now at a higher level with this new door of opportunity that has opened up wide, just know that there is something very, very profoundly different for the better in your life. And as you come to know that, I want you to merge back through time, coming back through from 9 months out, bringing it back through to 6 months out, noticing you're integrating it now to 3 months. And as you integrate it into 3 months, then come in to being tomorrow. Notice what you feel like tomorrow. Notice your body, how light it is. As you feel the lightness, the brightness, notice that you aren't quite bothered about the things that maybe you were bothered about the other day. Somehow it's different. And just like a bell that goes off in your mind, I want you to merge back to the here and now. And on the count of 3, we're going to open up our eyes. We're going to come to full alertness. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to have some homework. So please write this down. And as you write down the homework, it's going to be, what have I achieved 12 months out? What is the non-negotiable for me? In other words, no matter what happens, I always make sure this happens. And what does this mean for your life? One more question. What is the biggest thing that transformed, that you let go of? And I want you to journal on this. And I want you to also understand that there is a script for this. There's a script fully for the entire sequence that I have just taken you through. And I want you to really give yourself a great big pat on the back. And I'm so grateful for your subconscious mind that has been able to make this change. And I want you to now feel that new sense of freedom. And I thank you for being part of this journey. And I ask you to journal and really embrace everything that you've done.